Hey, what's going on? Todd here, and I would love to share just for a few minutes today on the topic of self awareness. Self awareness to me as a coach and also as just a human being is such an important topic because it's like you have it or you don't. So I want to pose a question to you is, do you have self awareness? And the other question I want to pose to you is, do you honestly, just and no BS, right? No BS, cut the crap. Like, let's get right down to it, right? Because I'm like a real person. I just like to speak the truth, but also I love when people speak the truth to me. Is I want you to really think about this question, whether you're 81 or 18. Can people really change? All right, let me repeat that. Can people really change? And what through my experience is I believe you can, because the good news is, let me fill you with some good news first, then maybe we'll get to the bad news here in a second. But the good news is you personally are not hardwired. Your spouse isn't hardwired, your son isn't hardwired, your mom isn't hardwired. We are not hardwired to just be who we are, okay? So for instance, your mom and dad, if you think about your childhood, might have believed certain things. They have certain philosophies on money. They had certain philosophies on faith, God. They had certain philosophies on life in general, okay? You are not the product of your parents. You don't have to be, but a lot of people are, okay? Does that make sense? So if your father did drugs, you might have struggled with drugs. If your father or mother smoked, you might struggle. Not all people, but you might be in that situation. If your father or mother were angry or got angry quick, you might be angry quick, right? Because I can definitely vouch for some of this, but I believe that everyone can change through self-awareness, okay? So I want to share a few tips on how to get that self-awareness and why change is so important and why change can actually help you save a marriage. It can actually help you get into a great relationship and stay in a great relationship. It also drives growth. And what I know about growth is growth equals happiness. So if we're not constantly evolving and understanding that we're not hardwired, that we can rewire our brains, we can change the course of our life forever by our choices that we make, because 90,000 choices is, or 90,000 thoughts is what we have every day. So we've got to constantly make the choices. So every day, even if you have the worst life in the world and you're watching this today, you can actually start making wiser choices. So in my notes here, number one of self-awareness is stop and smell the roses. What I really would love for you to do is what I do a lot is sometimes I just throw the phone down and I get out of town. Does that make sense? That kind of rhymes. Throw the phone down and get out of town, right? What I mean by that is I might go to a bookstore. I might just be at home. I might just read the Bible. I might just reflect. I might write. I might journal. But I got to stay away from the Facebook. I got to stay away from, all the stuff that's a distraction in our lives and really focus on stopping and smelling the roses and driving my perspective. What needs to change? Am I really the best husband for my wife? Really? What do I really need to do better? Am I loving her more? Can I improve in this area? Do I really have the best body? Do I really have the best health? What can I do to change that? Now, it's hard to stop, or it's hard to create the self-awareness if you don't stop. So I encourage you, the first step of self-awareness is stop what you're doing and really evaluate your current reality. Because the first responsibility of any leader is to define their reality. How is your finances? How's your health? How's your faith? Stop and say, what am I doing in my faith? Am I just living paycheck to paycheck, day by day, not really praying, not really relying on God, for my life choices that I have to make instead of just go, 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 go? Because that's the compound effect. Those choices, negative or positive, add up. So a year from now, 2 years from now, you might find yourself in a position where you chose the life that you had and it's filled with drama. Sometimes you have drama in your life because it isn't your fault, and sometimes it is. So the choices that we have to make are so important, and we need that downtime. We need to really reflect. We need to really write. We need to really journal. Number two is, are you really doing your best? Okay, so in my notes, I put that because I believe that we all can accomplish so much more than we are really doing. The human potential lies just within our comfort zone. So if we're not comfortable, you should probably do that. If you're trying to get out of your comfort zone or you feel like you need to, but you don't want to, you should do that very thing to get outside of your comfort zone. Like if it's asking a girl out on a date, especially when we're younger, maybe you're married and that's how you have your wife or your husband. Probably if you have your wife, men usually take that initiative, but asking a woman out on a date, of course it's out of your comfort zone. You might get rejected, but it was the best decision you've ever made. Maybe it's a recruit in your business, maybe you're nervous. Whatever it is, the best things in life usually take a risk. So you got to really understand, am I really doing my best in my marriage? Am I really doing the best in my health? Am I really doing the best in my personal development and reading books and listening to positive things? Or am I just getting by and then complaining that life is not as good as I really want it to be? Okay, number 3, what needs to change in your life? What are the changes that you need to make once you stop and smell the roses? Look at your relationships. Look at your friendships. Look at your finances. Look at, again, you got to define your reality. So by doing that, you're going to be able to say, okay, these things need to change immediately, and then start taking the necessary action. But I want to just close this YouTube video and, and just say a couple of last things is, you've got to decide, okay? You got to literally say, you know what do I got to do to change? I got to decide this. If you have a horrible marriage, you got to decide to take it, the bull by the horns. You got to decide to start getting on systems that are going to help you and help you get out of, your apathy and maybe make you accountable. You've got to decide to maybe go to that marriage counselor. You've got to decide to actually do what's right. That it's never too late to do the right thing. Never. I don't care what your life in the past is. It's never too late, and stop living in the past. You've got to decide and take massive action from that decision, and then go, and then actually not be too hard on yourself if you're not getting the kind of results right away. Have some compassion. I call it strength with humility. Have compassion for yourself because you are growing. But that comes through the self-awareness, okay? Lastly is, why does this matter? Because your marriage is on the line, your friendships are on the line, your business is on the line. Everything is on the line. That's why self-awareness is really one of the biggest things in the world that matters the most. So are you going to take the necessary actions and also make the right decisions on doing always the right thing, even if it's not popular and even if people are even against it? You've got to have that self-awareness of what is the best thing that you can do in every situation. What can you do about a situation, not what can't you do, or woe is me, or everything is going to collapse, oh, life is so tough. Knock it off. Get out of that depressed state. Get into a positive state. Work out. Focus on your health. Focus on the 6 inches between your ears. Meditate. Do what you got to do, because everything in your life depends on it. You don't want a lot of drama? Focus on this. Focus on you, not anyone else, taking full responsibility for your actions and creating more self-awareness than you've ever created, having that time to reflect so that you can change inside, and then watch the law of attraction work in such a great way in your life. So hopefully this speaks volumes to you. I mean, I'm doing it myself. That's why I'm speaking about it, because that's what I'm focused on in my life, being the best version of myself that I possibly can be for my wife, my kids, for my friends, my colleagues, and for followers that look up to me. So thank you so much for watching this. Please share if this spoke to your heart. Appreciate it.